Yes, no.
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Okay, good. So ignore my
Yes, sir.
spellings. Yeah, good. So ignore my spellings in between. I may type wrong spelling, so just ignore that. So now your interview, guys, I'll tell you over here. So first major job what you will face is procurement interview. Okay, this is the major interview job. Second job is sourcing and RFQ. So sometimes procurement and sourcing combined questions will come to you. Sometimes it is purely based on procurement. So always if you have 6 months of experience, if you have 1 year of experience, if you have 1.5 year of experience, you can say you're only working on procurement and you have knowledge on sourcing. You can take that liberty to answer it. But if your experience is more than 1.5 year, you have to make sure you are saying you're working in procurement as well as sourcing. You're working less than 1.5 years, you can say you're purely working on procurement and sourcing. You have total knowledge, but less above 1.5 year, you have to say you're working in sourcing as well as procurement both. Now, what is vendor master data? Sometimes you may get a job interview on vendor master data, vendor onboarding, vendor management. So here on your resume, there are not much points on vendor, but still due to 1 or 2 points which we have added in your resume, because of that you may get a call on vendor master data as well. So there also I'll tell you what questions can be asked. So remember this, guys: vendor interview or material interview, accounts payable interview, that is invoice interview, order management interview. These three are different jobs: vendor master, material master, accounts payable, order management. There are 5% of chance you may get interview on this particular role. Whenever you get interview on this particular role, we say that you have knowledge on this, you have been trained on this, you have worked for just 1 month on this, but you have knowledge, and if given a chance, you can easily work on this. You have to say these things. And what questions they will ask, that also I'll tell you today. Okay. So vendor master, accounts payable, and invoice order management, we won't say we are working for a long period of time. You can say we have knowledge, we have trained, we have been trained, we have interacted with those team members, worked for a period of 1 month in short project, but don't have long exposure. But if given a chance, I can easily work on these particular areas also. So if your experience is more than 4 years, then you can say you have worked on these areas for 6 months as well. So if you get a call on invoice, you can say you have worked on invoice for 6 months only if your experience is more than 4 years. If your experience is more than 4 years, you can say order management also you have 6 months of experience, or vendor master, material master. Rest all experience is into, of course, procurement and sourcing. But if your experience is less than 4 years, you can say knowledge, trained, short project, but never work for a longer duration of time. Is this clear with everyone first?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. So we'll go with the next now. So first, I will ask you few HR. So this class is getting recorded. Okay. So anywhere if you don't understand, also please go through the recording, and later again you can give us a call or WhatsApp and ask the questions. So first is HR scenario. So I'm directly going with the first or fifth step. Sorry, scenario and HR questions. So they will ask you first, what is your current CTC? So Chiranjeev has told you what is your current CTC. You have to say that. What is your expected CTC? See, always say 30 to 40% hike from the current CTC, but it is negotiable. Okay, because as of now you're not selected in the company, just HR is asking you. So never tell any high salary expectations. First give interview and get selected, then we will see about the next part. So scenario is like current CTC expected is 30 to 40% hike. What is your notice period? Official notice period. Now this is for the usually students who have added our company name in resume. Accurance, Gigatech, Technovia, our company, RSB, whatever. If you are working in a legal company, you have to say your notice period, whatever it is. But if you are working in our company, we have shown our experience in your resume, then you have to keep this funda clear in your mind. Understand this. First of all, what you are saying, you are working on a contract job and you are working for client. So you are working in Accurance, and through Accurance, you are working for client. So this client is example, Norma Group. Example. Okay, this is there in the notepad, of course. Chiranjeev will share you. So, and or might have shared also already to you. Okay, so whenever you are saying that you are working in Accurance, so you are saying you are working on a contract job. Accurance is an agency. Accurance has hired you, but you are working for Norma Group. This is your client, and you are working on site. On site means what, guys? You are working from Norma Group office. Remember this. Okay. So now, whenever HR asks you what is your official notice period, that's the second question. You have to say official notice period is 1 month, but you can join ASAP, that is as soon as possible, because the contract with Accurance is almost over now. So they'll ask you how come it is over. Why it did not get extended? You have to say, sir, because the project which I was working for, that project has got off-rolled, ramped down, or it's almost towards the end. And Accurance has no new projects or no new clients as of now for my skill set. So because of that, Accurance is terminating the contract. So they may ask you, is it only your contract getting over? Then you have to say no. Whoever is working for that client, everyone's contract is almost over as the project itself is coming to an end. Next. So official notice is 1 month, but when can you join? Now this is the question. So how you have to answer, I'll tell you. Now this is a December month. Suppose if you have got a call on or before 15th of month, before 15th of any month. So it may be Jan, Feb, whatever. If you get a call on or before 15th of any month, you have to say you are working in whatever company, contract job, wagera, same, and official notice period is 1 month, but already the project is over, contract is over, and the contract is over on 30th of previous month or 31st of previous month. And now you are free to join as soon as possible. If you get call on or after 15th of any month, okay, so you have to say again, same story, official notice period is 1 month, but your contract is going to get over on current month 30th or 31st. So if you get a call on Jan 20, you will say your contract is going to get over on Jan 31st. If you get a call on Jan 10th, you will say your contract is already over on 31st December and you're free to join immediately. Understanding this or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So yeah, good. So what you understood over here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good, good. So first question was what? What's your salary? So Chiranjeevi has told you salary. You will tell that salary. What is your expected salary? You will say 30 to 40% hike negotiable. What is your official notice period? So in my company it was 1 month, but I was working on a contract basis. The contract is coming to get over as the project what I was working for in Accurance got off rolled. So if you get a call before 15th of any month, previous month the contract got over. After 15th, that particular month ka end, your contract is going to get over. Okay. Next question. Do you have PF account? So of course you don't have PF account. You have to say in our company. If you are adding our company, you do not have an active PF account in our company because as I said, the job was on contract basis. This is the reason. So they may ask you, Arey, what happened? If it is on contract also, people deduct PF, na? So why your PF is not deducted? Then you have to say, sir, it was on a contract basis. Company did not give the PF option. First answer is what? Company did not give PF facility or option to you. If you don't remember this, then there is a second answer also. In our company, PF was optional. Okay. So what do you mean by this? If your salary is 20,000 example per month. So like basic salary 10,000, basic salary is 10,000, house rent allowance is 5,000, whatever. So this way your total salary, conveyance allowance, other allowance together is 5,000. So total salary is 20,000 per month. So this is known as your gross salary. Then there comes deductions. So deductions is PF and professional tax of 200 rupees. In our case, it was 0. Why it was 0? Because company told me that your salary is 20,000. If you want PF, there will be two deductions. Employee share towards PF and employer share towards PF. Employer means company towards PF. These both salary, like these both amounts, suppose 1,500, 1,500. They told both these shares will be deducted from your salary only. Actually, how it works in a company, from your salary, they will deduct a sum and company will pay from their pocket also. That is employer share. But in your company, what Accurance told you, employee share towards PF as well as employer share will be deducted from your salary only. Then you would get 17,000 in hand. So that is not affordable to stay in a city like Pune or Bangalore. So you did not opt the PF option. This is one more answer. Or you can say company did not give you the PF option as it was a contract job. As simple as that. So this is the third or fourth question I can say about your PF. You have to answer this. They may ask you this way also. Why so many people are leaving Accurance? Because so many of our students are there who are applying jobs. So it may so happen that multiple people applied to same company and same HR is contacting you. So you have to say, you have to be total casual. Yes, ma'am, as I have told you, or yes, sir, as I have told you, already the contract is over. The projects which Accurance had, those projects also are over, or they don't have any new projects. So bulk of the people are like leaving the job. So how many you have to know everything about Accurance or whatever company. There is a notepad which Chiranjeev will share you, like how much, what is the strength of employees in Accurance or any other company, what is the revenue of Accurance, what you need to answer, what is the revenue of your client, what you need to answer. So for example, if they ask me, I'll tell this way. So you're working in Accurance Tech and Manpower Services. This is a basically Nagpur based firm, and through that company I'm working for a client. The client which I was working for through Accurance is Norma Group on site. So sir, Norma Group is in Pune location. So I used to stay in Pune and I used to work for Norma Group. The shift timing what I had is 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift timing, as I was working for Norma Group US plant. So that was my shift timing, 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. I had company cab facility to go to and fro from the office. Accurance has around 80 to 100 employees, sir, but everyone works on site for different clients. The revenue of Accurance, I don't have much idea, sir, because as I said, Accurance is an agency. So I don't know the revenue of Accurance, and I was working for Norma Group. Total number of employees in Norma Group were 10,000 employees worldwide. The revenue of Norma Group is 2 billion euros. It is a German based company which is manufacturing hose clamps, joining components, pipes, fittings, these kind of components for their automotive clients. This is about my client. So I'm working for Norma Group. That's it. This you have to be clear with the company and client. Remember this. So whatever I've told this sentence, same thing will be applicable to whichever you add our company, and whatever client you add, that data is already there with us, which will be sharing you. Okay. So next is, what is your team size? So if they ask you what is your team size, means in your team, how much people are working, how many people are working, you have to say 12 team members. Out of that 12, 3 to 5 team members or 4 to 5 team members together, you are working in procurement and sourcing. So 3 in procurement, 3 in sourcing, you can say. Around 2 to 3 team members are working in accounts payable and invoicing. Around 2 people or 1 person or 2 person are working in master data, vendor master data. And 1 is like auditor or team lead, you can say. 1 is team lead, or 2 are team lead who are assigned to your team. So almost there are a group of 12 people and 1 team lead is there, and you report to your team lead. Okay. So this is the way you have to say about the team size. Okay. If they ask you. Next is, what is your 3 strengths? What is your strength? So you have to say you're quite flexible, you're quite adaptable, and you're sincere. So if they ask you, tell me a situation when you can say you are flexible, then you have to say, sir, as I mentioned, I was working for night shift. So I'm comfortable to any shift. So I'm quite flexible in any shift. Second, I'm adaptable because, sir, if any new environment also is there, I get adjusted to that environment easily. I can start working to that environment. And whatever task is allocated to me, I try to complete that task as soon as, means given task is completed by me within the given deadline. So I'm quite sincere to the work that I take up. What is your weakness? So you can say, so weakness is like sometimes I get emotional quickly. So if someone tells something to me, I feel bad very easily. So that is one of my weakness, which I'm currently working upon. So they will say, how are you working on this weakness? You have to say, sir, if someone tells me something, if it is good, then I'll take it as a positive comment and work towards that. If they're just saying to demean me or just to make sure my confidence is getting lower, so I try to ignore that. So by doing that, I'm trying to overcome this weakness. And you can say some physical weakness, like you don't exercise and all currently, so you have to focus on that also. So this weakness, you can say these 2 weaknesses. What is your long-term aim and short-term aim? So you have to say your short-term aim is basically to, as you're working on contract basis and the contract is over, so your first aim is to get a job and start working, because you are supporting your family, and get stabilized in that job as soon as possible. Next is, what is long-term aim? So long-term aim is, you have to say, sir, down the line 5 to 6 years, I see myself like leading a small team, want to grow to a team lead position in the same company, want to be stable in the same organization for 5 to 6 years, grow in that organization itself, and whatever it takes to grow to a team lead position in next 5 years, acquire those skills, try to develop those skills. So that is my aim as of now, and I want to stabilize my family. So this is my long-term aim, you have to say. Then whichever company interview you are giving, always remember this. First, suppose if you are giving an interview of WNS, go to Google, read about WNS. They may ask you, what do you know about our company? So you need to know about that company, whichever you're giving interview for. Okay. So that's the next question. Next, they will ask you, why you think you're right fit for this role? So you have to always say, sir, if you go through my resume, sir, I have already worked in procurement sourcing. I have knowledge on, means I have worked on Excel reporting. I worked on ERP tool like SAP also. So I think I have right technical and functional knowledge, which is useful for this role. So I think I will be best fit for this role. Sometimes it may so happen that the job is something different. It may be not in procurement, but still your resume is shortlisted. And if they ask you why you are right fit for this role, then you have to say, sir, I'm a quick learner. Already I worked in procurement sourcing. There I gained knowledge. So any other role also is there. I can get adjusted to that easily. I'm a quick learner, so I can get accustomed to that role easily. So if you give me a chance, definitely I can prove that. Next, how long will you work in our company? So you have to say, sir, I can work in your company for almost, I can say minimum my thought process is at least I will work 5 years because I want to be stable in same organization. But if I'm getting good growth also later, I'll look for a more long-term career. Are you ready to sign a bond? Yes, I'm ready to sign a bond. I don't have any problem, you have to say. Sometimes they just purposely ask you about bond. So you say, I'm ready for bond. Are you ready for a next contract job? Yes, sir, I'm okay with contract job. Previous also job was contract. So I'm okay with contract job also, not a problem. Bond and contract are two different things, guys. Remember, okay? So some students get confused between bond and contract. Just allow me a moment. So now, any doubt till here, guys? Understood till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, these are kind of managerial plus HR questions which you need to tackle, and every answer should be in sync. Huh? So I always tell in offline batches also, see guys, you all are using our company names and applying for the jobs. If one person also says something wrong about the company, others also will suffer. So you need to make sure you are not losing job, and because of some you, other people also shouldn't suffer. If they suffer, then of course I'm going to catch you, because everyone needs job. Everyone has some financial constraints. So make sure you tell this, like whatever I'm telling you, understand this, write this, by heart this, and keep the answers in sync. Even if your communication is not good, doesn't matter. Interview questions will be same, whatever we are telling here. So you have to just by heart the things. Okay. So these are the things which will be asked to you in HR scenario questions, HR questions majorly, I can say. Okay, understood. So now I'll go to a petty scenario questions. Okay, so mostly this I won't type. I'll just speak. It is getting recorded, so you can listen to that later. First scenario: what are the process improvements you have done? What process improvements you did in your company? So you have to say, I have done couple of improvements, sir. I don't know if it is a major improvement. I can say, but what I suggested. So first idea, what I suggested in my company was, sir. So whenever we were creating PO in our company, sir. So after that, we used to work on reports. So in reports, sir, for PO report, we used to use T code ME2L for PO report by vendor and ME2M for PO report by material. Then I started using SAP. I got adjusted to SAP. Then I explored one more T code, that is ME80FN. So this is known as general report. So then I explored this T code, and then I saw in this T code only we can give vendor, material, everything, and we can generate a PO report. So initially we used to generate two reports and then try to club those reports. But by using this one T code only, I got report at a single stretch. So our time reduced, sir. Like to create that report, our time got reduced because of using this T code which I had explored. So this is one improvement where I saved some time, you can say. Next, sir, in PO there is an option personal setting and default values, and same option is there in PR also. What is the option? Default values. So usually we used to give the same plant, same warehouse many times. So I told the team members, like I just explored this option and I told team members, if our plant is repetitive, warehouse is repetitive in PRPO, we will set those values to default. So in your case, what you learned SAP, we always use plant 1000, 000 and warehouse. So we made it default. So because of that, sir, we created lot many POs on a daily basis. We create lot many POs. So our time got saved as a team to input these values. So once I make it default, no need to input it again and again. System will fetch it automatically. So here also my time got saved. That is also one more improvement which I had suggested, I can say. Apart from that, sir, I can say the next improvement. This improvement, what I'm going to say, only if you have practiced this topic, please answer, else skip. So third is auto PO from PR. So these two improvements, everyone please tell, only if you have practiced this. Again, I'm underlining, only then you have to answer this. So auto PO from PR means, sir, I suggested this idea, but this idea was not implemented. Okay. Ignore my spelling, I told you. So idea was not implemented. So auto PO from PR means, sir, I suggested this idea where you can go to vendor master data on the auto PO option, material master auto PO source list, then maintain info record source list, then go to PR with source determination, and then go to ME59 and convert all the PRs into PO automatically, where we would save our time, cost, and also process would be more efficient. Why time save? Of course, you did automatic PO, so time got saved. Why cost saved? There are no people requirement now. I don't need any employees to create PO because I have did it automatically. So my cost saved now. I don't need employees, and I made it automated. So process became more better. So these were the reasons. So these are the benefits because of this process. But what I am saying, I suggested this idea because I researched about this, but I cannot implement this, sir, because my manager did not approve it. Then they will ask you why your manager did not approve it, sir, because of two reasons: because of huge data and no budget. Why huge data, no budget? Guys, in companies, there will be thousands of vendors, thousands of materials. So you have to take the data of 1,000 vendors and remove duplicates. Take the data of 1,000 materials, remove duplicates. For all vendor materials, you have to enable that auto PO option on and source list option on. For all vendors materials, you need to maintain an info record and source list. To do this, you will require 6 months to 1 year if your plant is very big. And company did not had that much budget to take that risk. Okay, so because of that, idea was appreciated, but they told we will see it later. Okay, so this was the process which I had suggested but not implemented. So this one improvement you can say, but only what I said now you have to buy it in the same way. Okay, so these are the improvements which I did in my company. Okay, so these are the first scenario, that is process improvisation. Second is, what are the challenges you faced in the company? So the first challenge what I faced in the company was, so whenever I created a PO2 vendor, so vendor used to not give the order confirmation. Guys, everyone knows, right, what is order confirmation? So once you create a PO2 vendor, vendor has to acknowledge your order that yes, he is going to give you the material. So what happens now? Suppose here there is Nagraj. So I created a PO2 Nagraj, and Nagraj did not reply me only. So should I wait for him now always? No. I have to call him, chase him, email him, and try to get a confirmation. If he's still not responding, then I'll put a PO to some other vendor. So I have to say, sir, first, sometimes PO we used to create, but vendor used to not give confirmation. Then we used to call the vendor, chase the vendor, and somehow get the confirmation. So that was one of the challenge. Sometimes we used to create a PO to vendor, and then vendor used to not give the material on time. Then we had to manage our client, we had to manage the supplier also, push him, understand issue what he's facing, and get the material on the required time. That was also challenge. So if they ask you, if vendor is not giving you material on time, what actions will you take? The actions are, so first action is we take the constant follow up from the supplier. Second, if still he's going to give the material late, then we make sure we try to help vendor, ask him what issue he's facing, and if we can assist him in his issue, and try to get the material on time. Still, if the material is going to get delayed, then third thing is, sir, we'll check if alternate supplier is there, and from there we can manage some amount of quantity. If that is also not possible, we will check our reserved stock if we have any stock in reserve. If that is also not possible, then we will ask the client and buy more time, means take some more time from the client to give the material. So these are the action items which we used to do. That is also one of the challenge which I have faced, you can say. Third, you can say, sir, in our company, SLA was very strict, service level agreement. So for PR to PO process, it was 1 business day, that is 8 hours. So once we received the PO in 8 hours, we had to do PO. So, and we used to get daily 20-25 PR. So it was difficult to manage SLA. So I had to manage, I had to be cautious, work on the PRs within the given time. So that was also one of the challenge which we managed properly. So these were a couple of challenges which we faced and which we resolved. Okay. So SLA, service level agreement. I hope you know, once you receive a PR, how much time you need to convert it into PO in a company, how much time is allocated. So it is 1 business day close to 8 hours. So if they ask you, if I give you 20 PRs, how will you understand which PR is urgent and which PR is like you can do it later? So this term you have to buy head. Whenever you receive a PR, you receive through a ticketing tool that is known as service now. This is a ticket tool. So once you receive a PR, in this tool you get that ticket number. Okay, in this tool basically priority will be there. In this tool there will be a priority to each PR. If the priority of the PR is P1, if you see in service now you got a PR and that priority of that PR is P1, then that means it is a urgent PR. If the priority is P2 or P2, this also is urgent PR. P3 is like you can do 8 hours. If you get a PR which is of high priority, you have to convert that in 2 hours. If you get a PR which is of priority 2, that means you have to convert it to PO in 4 hours. And if it is P3, then 8 hours. So from this tool, we understand which PR is on high priority. Guys, why I'm telling you this, because there was an interview last week in Swiggy company. So same question was asked. He told, sir, SLA was challenged. Then they asked, how do you understand whether this PR is urgent or this PR is late? Means the question what they asked is, if I assign you 20 PRs, what will be your action to close these PRs? What will be your approach? Then he told, sir, whatever is the high priority PR, I'll take it first. Then they asked you, how will you understand whether which PR is high priority and which is low priority? So we have to say, sir, there is a ticket that is service now. Through this tool, we get the PRs, and in that PR, the priority is assigned to each PR. Okay, so these are the challenges which you have faced and which you have resolved in the company. Okay. Next, what are you expecting from your new job? Then you have to say, so basically, I can say now I have this much years of experience. So from a new job, I want to develop my skills. I want to have a good learning exposure as well. Also, I need to have a good global exposure, means speak to different clients, work on reporting. So these all things I'm expecting from new job. And also, of course, I want to get stable in the new opportunity. So these are all the things which I'm expecting from my new job, you can say. Okay. Guys, now any doubt in this? Challenges, process
No,
improvements,
sir.
what you're so what you're expecting, why you are right fit for this role, what's your short-term aim, long-term aim, what's your strength, what's your weakness, what's your team size, what is about your PF salary, how can you join early, your notice period, everything I have told in this, guys. Understanding or no? So this is like a HR plus scenario based questions. Okay. Now next, if there are two vendors, one more scenario. If there are two vendors, this is more related to RFQ. If there are two vendors, this question is asked in sourcing RFQ most of the times. Both vendors are giving you the same price. Which vendor will you choose? Then you have to say, sir, price is there, but I will see quality. Which vendor's quality is better from my quality team? Then they tell you quality also is same of both vendors. Sir, then I will check the delivery date. Which vendor is giving me the better delivery date? They say both vendors are giving you the material on same day. Sir, then I will see who is giving me a better credit payment terms, who is giving me longer time to make the payment. That is very important. Then they will say both vendors are giving you credit. Then I'll say, I'll check the capacity of both vendors. Capacity is in the sense, see guys, I require 20 laptops today. Both vendors are giving me 20 laptops. But tomorrow my suddenly requirement may become 200. So which vendor is capable of delivering me that 200 laptops? So capacity also is important. So if they say capacity also is same of both the vendors, then I'll say who vendor is giving you better Incoterms. Then if they say that is also same of both the vendors, then I'll say who is giving better warranty and guarantee. If that is also same warranty and guarantee. So everything is same. Now which vendor to choose? Then you can say who the vendor who is giving me some additional things, like suppose laptop with cover or laptop with extra mouse, some additional things. That is also same. Then what I'll say, whichever vendor is near to my office, I'll buy from him. That's it. Okay. So, but you have to give this way all the logics behind that. If two vendors giving the material at same price, then how you are going to tackle about this? Okay. Next scenario. If I order 100 materials, means I order 100 pieces of monitor, vendor delivered me 100, 20 or 40. What actions will you take? So you will say, sir, I ordered 100, vendor delivered me 100, so I did GR of 100, but later in quality 20 came to 40. Then what I'll do is I will return this 20 to vendor, and I will tell him give the refund of 20, or else I'll tell him give the, like, take this 20 back and give me the correct 20. So refund is known as credit note. So I'll raise a credit note and I'll take the refund of 20 pieces, or else I'll give 20 back and I'll take 20 proper pieces instead of defective what he has given me. I'll return that and take a proper pieces. So this also scenario may be asked to you. Okay. So these are all things related to scenario and plus your HR things. Okay. So I'll go to the next, the major thing, that is now procurement. Okay. So now what questions you may expect in procurement, guys? So the first question in procurement, still I haven't taught you day-to-day profile, what you need to tell in day-to-day profile, that I'll come towards the end. How many PRs you are getting on a daily basis? Sir, on a daily basis, I receive 20 PRs. So as a team, we are 3 team members. So individually, you are getting 20 PRs. Huh? Remember this. So as a team, you are getting 60 PRs. Okay, so how many POs you are doing? So almost I am converting all the PRs into POs on a per day basis. So I am converting almost 20 PRs into POs on a per day basis. And in each PO, there are 4 to 5 line items. 4 to 5 line items. Matlab kya? If you get one PR, in that 4 to 5 materials are mentioned. So that way you get 20 PRs. That means in each PR there are 4 materials example. So 20 POs you convert on a daily basis. So total number of materials are close to 100 materials. In one PO there are 4 materials or 5 materials, and that way 20 POs. So you're ordering 100 materials, but equivalent it is 20 POs. So on a daily basis, how many PRs, POs you are getting? Sir, I'm getting 20 PRs assigned to me. How you are getting the PR? Sir, I am getting the PR through ticketing tool service now, and also we get an email. So once we get an email, we open SAP, log into SAP, go to ME21N, open document overview, my purchase requisitions. There we see which purchase requisitions are assigned to us. Then we adopt those purchase requisitions and we convert it into PO in ME21N and then close the ticket in service now. Okay. Then they will ask you what PR validation you do. Sir, this is a very important question. Sir, once we receive the PR, we check if delivery date is correctly updated or no. This is very important. See, if I raise a PR today and I want material also today, it is not possible, right? So there has to be a realistic delivery date. So I'll see if the delivery date is correctly updated or no. Then apart from that, I'll see if the unit of measure, pieces, kilo is correctly updated or no. I'll see if the quantity is correctly updated or no. I'll check the stock. I will see if the payment terms and Incoterms are updated correctly or no. And I'll see if whether quotation is attached to the PR or not. And according to the quotation, payment terms, Incoterms, all these things are correct or no. So I'll validate quantity, delivery date, vendor code, material code, if unit of measure, if quotation is attached or no. All these things I'll validate. If everything is fine, I'll convert it into PR. If something is missing, then I will hold the PR, call the requester, email the requester and get the clarification. That way you have to say. So this is the PR validation. So what is the T code to create a PR? You need to know ME51N, PO ME21N, then edit, display, all these things you need to understand. Then fourth, once you convert a PR to PO, they will ask you what are the materials? What are the vendors? Who are your vendors? How many vendors are you managing? So this question is asked today only in ACUS interview. How many vendors are you managing? So you have to say 50 to 80 vendors you are handling. Okay. So you are working for which region? US region. US which region? North America region. North America means which states comes in North America? California and all comes in North America. You have to tell those states also. So this is very important. You are working for US, North America region, and different states are there in North America. So these many suppliers you are managing. Tell me the names of the suppliers. So Chiranjeev will give you a separate list for vendors and materials. So that you have to by heart literally. We have given there everything, guys. Direct materials which you have to tell, indirect materials which you have to tell, indirect materials and indirect commodities. There are 4 questions, and for the 4 questions, the answer is same. What materials are you handling? What commodities are you handling? What procurement are you managing? What purchase are you managing? Or what category are you managing? Whatever let them ask you, you have to say direct and indirect material. So what is direct material? So direct materials are the products which are the part of your end product, like raw materials. Raw materials are the part of end products. And indirect material, I'm managing mechanical and electronic commodities. And indirect means indirectly which is helping for your production activity. So like suppose IT materials, laptop system, hard drive, printer, scanner, software. Non-IT, insurance, stationery items, you can say office supplies, tissue paper, all these things. MRO means maintenance repair. Any part is damaged, so you have to replace that part. So that is maintenance repair. Service means any machine is there, you want to have servicing for that. So that comes under indirect materials. So you are managing 70% of direct procurement, 30% of indirect. You have to say that way. Okay, so 70%. So which material, mechanical materials, which electronic, uske liye separate list is there. Which IT procurement, non-IT, separate list is there for this. Who are the vendors? There is a list for this. That notepad will be shared to you. There I have given each material, we have given specification of each material, price of each material, who is the vendor from whom you are taking this material. Everything is given. You have to literally by heart that. Understanding, guys? So this is the materials and vendors which you have to say. So what is your SLA for PR to PO process? Then you have to say, so SLA for PR to PO process is 1 business day. For some PRs, based on the priority is 2 hours, 4 hours. If it is P3, I told you 1 business day. That is 8 hours. Okay, for PR to PO process. Next is what are your KPIs? KPIs, key performance indicators. In your company, you get your salary hike, right? So salary hike is based on your performance. So your performance has to be measured. So that is known as key performance indicator. So you have to say, in my company, the KPI was SLA. Whether we are converting all the PR to PO within the given time or no, that used to get checked. If you are doing that, then your performance is good that way. So if they ask you what is your SLA percentage, then you can say 98%. Means if you get 100 POs, 98% of the times you have, sorry, if you get 100 PRs, 98% of the times you have to convert those PR into PO within the given time. Okay, that is your SLA. So 98% of the times you had to be accurate to convert a PR to PO. Don't tell the percentage, it is only if they ask you. Next is you can say extra training. So you can say in my company, in whole year, they had assigned us 10 hours of extra training. So you can say I did Excel 10 hours training, some SAP training. So did we do this training or no, or certification? C you can say is PO quality. So once I used to create a PO, so the PO gets audited by the auditor. There is a separate auditor. So if you have created 100 POs, out of them, all the things are correct in PO or no is checked. So 98% or 99% is the SLA for quality, you can say. Means whatever POs you create, 99% of the times your quality should be correct of your PO. So all these were your KPI, you can say. If your interview is on sourcing and RFQ, you can say cost saving also is in KPI. So how much you have saved in the company. So there was a target, like don't say target. So if you have done some cost saving, that was additional benefit to the employee in terms of their appraisal. Every year, appraisal means your salary increases. Salary increases your salary. On what basis your salary is getting increased? On this basis. Your manager is reviewing your whole year performance on these 4 parameters. This is known as your key performance indicators. Next, what do you mean by payment terms? So this, what do you mean by payment terms and what payment terms you are using? These are 2 questions. You have to say, so payment terms are like the time within which we have to make the payment to the supplier once the invoice is received or the materials are received. So my payment terms with my supplier was 45 days net, 60 days net, 90 days net, 50% advance and 50% after 30 days. So these were different payment terms. Payment terms depends upon the materials and guys. If I'm taking a screw from you, I cannot take 1 month to pay amount for a screw. It is 1 rupee amount I can give you and directly take. If the product is of 1 crore, then I require 90 days to make the payment. So payment term was 45 days net, 60 days net, 90 days net, 50% advance, 50% 30 days. You can say that way. Next, what do you mean by Incoterms? So of course, this will be told, has been told to you, of course. So Incoterms are, sir, it is international commercial terms. Some students, what they do is when they ask you, what is like, explain me Incoterms. So what they say, sir, Incoterms is international commercial terms. They are not asking you full form. They are asking you explain. Explain means you have to explain it in detail. Just don't say, if they ask you what is full form, then say international commercial terms. Then you have to say, sir, Incoterms are the terms which we have with our supplier, which decides what is the responsibility of a buyer and what should be the responsibility of a seller. For example, in our, there are 11 Incoterms for air route, sea route, and land route. In our company, we are using like XWorks, FOB, and DAP. These are the 3 Incoterms which are using in our company. Okay, so XWorks, you have to explain them. You have to buy at all 11, but you have to say these 3 you are using in your company. Okay, so they may ask you one time this way also. What do you mean by freight forwarder agent in this Incoterm? So freight forwarder agent means if I have to go and pick the material from supplier's location, so I can go and pick, or I can tell someone to go and pick. So telling someone to go and pick is known as agent, freight forwarder. So I am telling some like logistics. Suppose if I'm telling VRL people, so I'm telling VRL people go and get our material. So they are our freight forwarder. They are going to pick the material. So Incoterm you have to understand. So payment of Incoterm are mandatory interview questions, guys. Next, you need to know T codes, as I've told you, reports. So what reports are you doing in PR? So you have to say, sir, I'm working on open PR report. So how many PRs we have got, but still not converted into PO? That is known as open PR report, ME5A. Sir, we are working on overdue PO report. Overdue PO means how many POs you created, but still the material is not delivered. So that is overdue PO report. So like you're using ME2L, ME2N, MEATF, and these kind of reports. Next, you are working on resource-wise PO created report. Resource-wise means you are 3 people in a team. Every week, how much each person has, how many POs he has created. That is known as resource-wise PO report. This also you are doing. So what you do is, guys, you use SAP. You take these reports, extract this report to Excel. In Excel, apply pivot table, pivot chart. Show how many PRs you got, how many are converted, how many are not converted. What is the reason why it is pending? How many POs you did? Why you not got that PO? What is the reason? What action you are taking? All these things you will first, you will extract this report from SAP to Excel, apply pivot table, then apply the charts, graphs, then export those graphs into PowerPoint, write all the things in the PowerPoint about this report, and you will upload this report to SharePoint. This word is important. SharePoint is common location where everyone can access your report and everyone can update the report. So you'll upload here, and every week you have a client call. So in that you discuss about this report. So if they ask you, are you working in a client facing role? You have to say yes, sir. Yes, I'm speaking to my client. I'm speaking to my vendors also. So I'm providing the report also to my client and discussing on the report. Every 15 days we have a meeting, or every 1 week we have a meeting. So yes, we are working in a client facing role. Guys, these all things will be asked in interview? No, but we have to be prepared for everything. Questions will be 50% of this. So I am preparing you for the worst case, toughest question. But interview will be easy. But if you do all these things, your interview will be 100% crack. Remember this. So client facing role, you are saying yes. So let me recollect next. What is PRPO? Reporting I told, vendors, materials I told, PR validation I told, PR to PO process I told, how you do it, how many PRs, how many POs you are doing, that I told you. Challenges what you face in PO, that I have told you. Then apart from that, T codes also we have seen. You have to remember those T codes as well. Then apart from that, what are the different types of POs? Different types of POs. So Chiranjeev might have taught you like subcontracting, consignment. These are all different types of POs. So you can say you are working on standard PO for raw materials. You are working for stock transport order PO. This you know, right? Plant to plant, you transfer the material. So this is stock transfer. Also, sir, we are creating service PO. So these are the different types of POs what we are working on. Apart from that, I have knowledge on subcontracting. But here you Google this, guys. Blanket PO. Blanket BLANKET. Blanket PO or framework PO. So blanket PO is like if you need stationary items and all. So you need that every day, every week. So this I've uploaded video also on website of blanket PO. You can go and check there in PO. So blanket PO is every week you require stationary items. So what you do, you create a blanket PO that is a zero value PO. And you give a budget to this. Like budget is like, suppose to buy stationary item, my budget is 10,000 euros. You go on creating PO up till this 10,000 is exhausted. That is like blanket PO. You can just go and read about blanket PO. You can say, yes, I know blanket PO. Okay. Next, they may ask you what is upstream and downstream in procurement. Upstream and downstream in procurement. So now if I go to Google, this is asked only once in GenPact interview, I guess. Yes, what is upstream and downstream in procurement? So here, in procurement, upstream refers to the activities that happens before a contract is awarded, while downstream refers to the activities that happen after the contract is awarded. Okay, so upstream means what? Before contract. So you're finding the vendor, you are negotiating with the vendor. This comes in upstream. And downstream is like purchase order creation. Once contract is awarded, after that what happens? PO, etc. So purchase order and all is like downstream, and your upstream is like your sourcing, negotiation. That is known as upstream in procurement. So you can just by heart that. See, upstream activities include identification of suppliers, negotiation, and all those things. And downstream is creating purchase orders and all those things. So this has been asked only once. So make sure just you keep this in mind, back of the mind. Next, this question may be asked: how do you measure vendor delivery performance? How do you measure vendor delivery performance? You say, sir, I am not measuring vendor performance, but I have the idea some other team is doing that. So once vendor is delivering the PO, we measure him on time delivery. If the vendor is on time or no, that is known as OTD. Second, whatever material he supplied, whether quality is correct or no. So we don't check quality, but quality team checks the quality of the material and they give the report. Third, after sales service. If you have taken a machine from him, how is his after sales service? Fourth, quantity clearance. Quantity clearance means, suppose if I've ordered 100 pieces and he has always giving me less number of pieces. So that means his quantity, what he's supplying me is not correct. Always he's supplying less quantity. So in all these parameters, our vendor gets rated. And once vendor, like you can say percentage also. The vendor performance is like, suppose on time delivery. This contributes 30%. Quality, this is major. So this contributes, suppose 60%, 50%. After sales service and quantity clearance contributes 10%. So we measure vendor on all these parameters, that is total 100%, and then we give him the rating, you can say. So it is vendor delivery performance, okay? Or how you can say vendor's performance you measure. Next, what tools are you using on a daily basis for your day-to-day activities? You have to say SAP ECC 6.0. Also, you can say S4 HANA. Apart from that, I'm using ServiceNow for tickets. I'm using Excel for my reports. I'm using PowerPoint for my presentation. I'm using Outlook for my emails and some third-party developed tools. And I have knowledge on SAP Ariba also. So Google this SAP Ariba. You can say I've attended a 5 days workshop on SAP Ariba. Understanding? So this you have to tell about your tools, what you are using. So now if they ask you your day-to-day responsibilities, so I'll just tell the day-to-day responsibility, by heart it as it is, guys. So how I'll tell, I'll combine every experience and tell you over here. So if they ask you, okay, this is the first question in interview, what's your day-to-day responsibilities? I'll say, sir, first of all, thanks for giving this opportunity. On a daily basis, my major job is into procurement. I receive purchase requisitions. I receive around 20 to 25 purchase requisitions. I validate these purchase requisitions. Once I validate these purchase requisitions, I convert it into purchase orders. After converting into purchase orders, I'm sending all the purchase order for my approvals, and I take the manager approval. And once the PO is approved, then I send this PO to the supplier via emails. Once I send the supplier via this PO to supplier via emails, I get the order confirmation from the suppliers. Once I get the order confirmation from the suppliers, I upload the order confirmation report in SAP. After that, what I do is, sir, I take the follow-up for the timely delivery of the material. So that is my job. Apart from that, sir, I'm also working on reporting activities on a daily basis. I'm working on like PR report, PO report, open PO report, overdue PO report, open PR report, resource-wise PO created report, SLA report. All these reports I'm working upon. And every week we have like client presentations and also these reports also I'm working upon. Apart from that, also, sir, if any invoice issues are there, so invoice team used to reach out to us for some of the invoice clarifications. So then we used to assist the invoicing team in two-way match or a three-way match, and we used to try to resolve those issues. Apart from that, if your experience is less, you can say I have knowledge in sourcing and RFQ also, a request for quotation. And if your experience is more, then you'll say, sir, I have experience in RFQ also. On a daily basis, if new sourcing request comes, so I'm working on those sourcing requests also, and I'm working on RFQ, sending the RFQ to the supplier, getting the quotation, negotiating with the supplier with the team. Like I'm a part of the team, so I'm negotiating with the supplier in the team. Then after that, creating a comparative chart which supplier is better. So I'm working in RFQ as well, sir. And coming to the tools, so I'm using SAP as my major tool. Apart from that, ServiceNow, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and some other third-party developed tools. So this has been my day-to-day profile, sir. That's it. So here I told PR to PO, but I did not mention any material. I told PR to PO, but I did not mention what validation I'm doing. Let them ask you later. So this should be a proper day-to-day profile. You have to answer in interview. Understanding or apart from this, I have knowledge on invoicing. I have knowledge on vendor master data, material master data. You can say this also. Additional, I'm saying if you want to. Next, again, one thing which you can include before only when they ask you about you or your company, you can say about your family background. First of all, you have to say about yourself. What is your name? What's your qualification? What's your pass out year? What education you have done? Then apart from that, don't tell percentage and all. Which company? What's coming to the family background? Who are in your family? Then so coming to the organization. So I'm working with, suppose you are working with Accurance Tech and Manpower Services. So sir, Accurance is in Nagpur. It is a third party organization. Sorry, it's a manpower consultancy, third party job. Through that, I'm working for Norma Group in Pune location on site. So Accurance is third party organization, but I'm working for my client. Client, don't say the name of the client. Just say I'm working for client. Let them ask you the name of the client, then you can answer. Okay. So this should be your day-to-day responsibility, guys. So any doubt till here, guys, in procurement? Just 1 second again. So let me know if you have any doubt in. Do you have any doubt in this, guys? Of course, I have told lot many things. You may have not understood everything, but of course you have to go through the video and by heart write this, by heart it. Without writing, you cannot crack the interview. Okay, you have to write each question what I have to read, write this answer what I have to, and by heart. That's it. So any doubt or you think I have not covered anything in PR to PO interview, please ask me. I have to also recall if I miss something. Next is GRN knowledge. Huh? Don't say you have worked in GR, just T code and all you can remember. Have you worked in import procurement? You have to say no. Sir, as I said, my client is in US. That means plant is in US and suppliers also are in US. So suppliers in US are supplying the material to US plant only. So I'm not importing the material to India, China, nothing. I'm not working in import procurement because suppliers also are in US, plant also is in US. But do you have any knowledge how import procurement works? You have to say yes. Sir, not that knowledge, but I can tell you like what are the things, what are there. So if you go here and just put this. See here, documents, you will get bill of lading, commercial invoice here. BOE means bill of lading, okay, or BOE means airway bill, or you can say bill of entry. So bill of lading, airway bill, license, bill of entry, BOE, LOC, letter of credit. Then apart from that, your you can say insurance certificate, custom clearances, delivery note. So all these things are required, sir, usually for the import of documents, which I have knowledge upon here. So bill of lading and all, once you have to read, that's it. As a knowledge we are saying, okay. We are not saying we are importing the material. Next question. Now, any doubt till here, guys? I want you to speak up. If you have any small doubt, some question I have not covered, please ask me. Bolo.
Sir, I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's a basic question. As I have done BCA, but I have done non-technical work. I had experience in non-technical.
Correct.
Uh,
So how to
join
define this, how
non-technical.
to answer this you are saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so this also is a correct question, guys, which we have skipped. So this, of course, is very important question. I might have recorded in that other video. Why you chose procurement? This can be a HR scenario question, or why you chose this field. Then how you have to answer? I'll tell you. Huh? So this can be common to each one of you. You have done mechanical. Now I have done mechanical. Suppose you have done mechanical. Why you chose procurement? You have done computer science. Why you came to procurement? That way, if they ask you, you have to say, sir, after my graduation, during the last 6 months of the graduation, I was looking for internship that was compulsory in my college. So when I was looking for internship, like through some reference, I got an internship in one of the company in my hometown, and there basically that internship was into procurement. So I was new to procurement, but as it is, I wanted some internship, so I joined there for 2 months, and there I got introduced to procurement for 2 to 3 months. And there, when I started working, I developed a lot of interest in procurement. Why you developed interest? Because procurement is a core part of supply chain. If we are not procuring the material on time, everything gets affected, supply chain. So because of that, I started interacting with suppliers. So I liked that job. And after that internship and my graduation, I looked for a job in my stream, but I did not get any opportunity as fresher. Then whatever internship I had learned, I updated that on Naukri.com and started applying for procurement. And then luckily I got this job. And from last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, I'm working in the same company on contract basis. And now I have decided to continue my career in procurement, sourcing, accounts payable, supply chain, in general, supply chain. So that has been my journey, sir. Okay, understanding guys? You can answer this way. Did you understood?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, guys? So I wanted to cover, of course, everything. Yeah, please. Someone was asking something. Guys, any question? Shall I take the next 5 minutes, another 5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, only one is saying yes. Shall I continue
Yes,
another
sir.
5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now, last question I'll take. So as I said, so many things I wanted to cover over here. These all things. Wait, let me come here. Where I started today's thing. So I was here. So today I tried to cover this sourcing and procurement. This we will cover today. Okay. So we'll take this session maybe 3 days. In next class, I'll cover vendor master data and accounts payable, this thing. And this also in one only session. And one session I need only for this sourcing and RFU. It's very important and very big thing. Lot many questions will come from there. Okay. So I'll try to wind up procurement today. So next question is, how much spend are you managing, or value of purchase order handled? Now logically you think, guys, you are saying you are creating 20 POs per day, and in each PO there are 5 materials. So the question what they can ask you is, how much spend are you handling? Means तुम कितने वैल्यूज के पीओ बना रहे हो, व्हाट इज द प्राइस दे आर आस्किंग, वैल्यू कितने पैसे का पीओ बना रहे हो, एक दिन में, एक हफ्ते में, एक महीने में. दैट वे दैट क्वेश्चन कम्स, गाइस. So you shouldn't be blank. Now I'll give you a logical answer. We have to buy it. You have to say, sir, I am creating a PO for the materials whose value is between $1 to $5,000. Means suppose fan is for $2,000, I will order it. Suppose table is for $1,000, I will order it. Screw is for $1, I will order it. Whatever the material which comes between $1,000 to $5,000, those PRs we are managing and converting into PO. Above $5,000 PR PO are managed by some other PO team. My other team is there. Those people are working on above $5,000. So I am working in the POs which are between $1,000 to $5,000. That you have to say. So that is like value of the PO what you handle, $1,000 to $5,000. So per month, कितने पैसे का PO बना रहे हो? How much spend you are handling? That question will come. So logical answer you see. What I told you guys, daily how many POs you are creating? What I told you. What you need to answer?
20.
Correct.
20.
20 POs.
20.
In one, correct. In one PO, how many line items are there? How many materials are mentioned? I told you. In one PO.
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
4 or
Correct.
5.
So I'll say I'll take 5 for example. So 20 POs and 5 line items, right? So how many materials you ordered per day? 100 materials you ordered per day. How many POs you created per day? 20 POs. But how many materials got ordered? 100 materials. Right? Now, you work how many days of a month? You work 20 days of a month. So 20 days. And how many POs you created per day? 20 POs. So per month, how many POs you created? 400 POs per month. Right? Any doubt in this? So 20 POs, 20 days. How many POs? 400. Yes or no, guys? Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, this calculation is important.
Yes,
Okay, so anywhere you are confused, ask me. Okay. Now 400 POs, and in each PO, how many lines materials? 5 line items we have fixed. That means per month you are ordering 2,000 materials per month. Yes or no? Calculation is correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes,
20
sir, right.
POs. Yeah. Correct. 20 POs per
Yes,
day.
correct.
Line items. Yeah. 100 materials you ordered. 20 days you worked. 20 POs. 400 POs. In every PO, 5 materials. So 2,000 materials you ordered per month, which is 400 POs. Now, you are responsible to create a PO for materials between what cost I told you? $1,000 to $5,000. Correct. So I'll take an average. I'll take an average cost of a material. एक material ₹1 का भी हो सकता है, एक material 5,000 का भी हो सकता है. So average cost I'll take €2,000 average. So how many POs you create? How many materials you ordered per month? 2,000 materials you ordered per month. And what is the average cost of a material? Average cost of a material? €2,000. So 2,000 into 2,000, guys, that means you are ordering materials worth 40 lakh dollar USD. Don't say 40 lakh, but in interview you are saying in US, so you have to say 4 million. So approx you have to say, sir, approximate like 3 to 4 million US dollars per month PO we are creating, worth value. Quantity of PO is 400 POs. Materials ordered is 200 materials ordered in a month. Average value of a material is 2,000 we have considered. One can be of ₹1, one can be. So average value of a product is 2,000. So 2,000 materials into cost of 2,000, like close to 40 lakhs, that is $4 million. This you have to answer if they ask you what spend are you managing or what are the value of POs you are handling. Understanding or no, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yeah. Ask me. Any doubt? Clear, right? Someone said sir and just stopped, so I thought some doubt is there or what. So this is the main question I can see. Next is what is catalog and non-catalog order? This Google it. This sometimes it is asked. Catalog means now if you go to buy some furniture and all, you get a catalog, right, where all the details of the product will be there. So catalog is catalog PO is a PO where all the details of the products are present. That's like catalog is present. Non-catalog means that is not present. Okay. Next is what is preferred and non-preferred vendor. Preferred vendor is like whom we have an agreement with, who the vendor we require for a long-term period. So that is a preferred vendor. Non-preferred vendor means we don't require that vendor for long-term period. Sometime we require that product like once in 1 year, once in 2 years, and that is not a high value cost material. So that time we can buy a material from non-preferred vendor. Preferred vendor is the vendor with whom we have agreement, with whom we are dealing on a continuous basis. Non-preferred is Whenever we want the material which is very low cost and it is urgent and our preferred vendor is not available, then we can buy from a non-preferred vendor. Okay. What is PO and non-PO invoice? So this will come in invoice, but PO is like PO invoices. PO invoices, you create a PO and then you receive an invoice for that order. So that is PO invoice. Non-PO invoice means there is invoice, but there is no PO. How is this possible? When there is no PO, but still you have invoice, that is known as non-PO. Now you pay electricity bill at your home or no, guys? Yes or no? Whatever you get a bill, right? So tell me, do you order electricity every month? Do you create a PO for electricity every month? No, right? You just take a connection. Every month you are getting electricity. How much you consume, that much bill you are getting. So that means there is no PO. Directly you get an invoice. That is non-PO invoice. So in terms of utilities, energies, electricity, Wi-Fi, then apart from that, some stationary items where we directly order, but or we don't order, but we have the bill. That's it. That is like non-PO invoice. Okay. Payment terms, these all things I've covered. This one I wanted to highlight in this. Order management, here I'll cover logistics and inventory interview also. Very 1% also chance is not there for you to get an interview. If you get less than 1%, still I'll be covering that also few questions as a knowledge perspective. So in next session, maybe this week only, we will cover these three things. Okay. And then one session will keep totally on what, guys? Sourcing and RFQ. So in this session, what we have covered? HR, scenario, and totally about what, guys? End to end about procurement. Understanding or no? And sometimes this question will come up, what all things are there in a PO? To say, sir, PO contains header data, item overview, item details. In header data, vendor code, payment terms is there, inco terms is there. Then in item overview, material quantity, date, price, plant, storage. In item data, item details, details will come from master data. These all things are there in a PO. If they ask you what, how you give tax in PO, sir, you have to say tax codes. You have to say, no, sir, in PO, we don't give tax codes. It will be there, but we don't give, because in our company, we create, means our other team creates vendor master data. In vendor master data only, for that vendor, taxes and all is given in master data only. So when I give that vendor number in PO, that tax will automatically come from vendor master data in the PO. So we are not giving any tax codes, and I don't have much idea on tax. We are dealing with US suppliers. GST and all is domestic. You can just revise CGST, SGST once knowledge, but not important. Tax codes, you can say US tax codes, but we don't have much knowledge because it is auto pulled from my master data. Where you give payment terms and inco terms in PO, it is in header data. That also will come automatically from vendor master data. We give those things in VMD only. So this is end to end about procurement. And main thing which will be asked, where students I have seen tell the wrong answers, they will ask you explain P2P cycle. Students don't remember only P2P cycle. Being 100 times we have told, it is very important. They'll ask you also explain a P2P cycle. So you have to say, sir, P2P cycle is nothing but the first step in P2P cycle is where a requester is creating a PR once need is identified. So once the PR is approved, then the PR comes to purchase department. Then purchase department evaluates the PR and convert it into PO. Then PO is sent for approval. Then once the PO is approved, then we take the, like we send the PO to supplier. Then we get order confirmation. Then we do follow up. Once the material is delivered to our warehouse, then the GRN is done by inventory team or warehouse team. Once the GRN is updated, then suppliers gives us the invoice. Then we verify the invoice and account payment processing is done to the supplier. So this is a P2P cycle. What is the difference between procurement and sourcing? Sir, in procurement, like once we get a PR, vendor we have, there's a vendor already in place. So what we do is directly we convert that PR into PO because we already have a vendor, and then do the GR invoice and same thing. So vendor is there, then we do the procurement. Once we get a PR, and if vendor is not there, so then we have to find the vendor, sir. That is known as sourcing, where we find the vendor, do the contract with the vendor, agreement with the vendor. So that is a sourcing process when we don't have a supplier. What is the difference between procurement and purchase? This is also a question. What is the difference between procurement and purchase? Means you have to say, sir, procurement is a process and purchase is one part in that process. So we say procurement. Procurement is everything from PR to PO up till payment is all under procurement. In that one step is purchase, where we actually create a purchase order, and procurement is a whole cycle where we request till the payment. In that one step is PO, where we actually order the material. Okay, understanding these differences, guys. It is recorded, I have not written, but can go through this recording. Next, guys, this question I'll ask you and then we may stop. What is the difference between vendor and supplier? Can anyone tell me?
Both are same.
Both are same. No, but there is a difference. Now understand this. This question was asked last 15 days back in one interview in WNS. Do you know what is OEM? OEM in mechanical people may be knowing. OEM is original equipment manufacturer. Okay. Supplier is nothing but, guys, you can say like OEM who manufactures the product. Okay. So I'm manufacturing a product. So I'm like a supplier. Vendor distributes that product. Understanding or no? So for example, suppose I can say Bosch company is there. Bosch is manufacturing some electronic component. So Bosch is known as OEM, it's a supplier. Some shop in Belgaum is distributing that Bosch equipment. That person can be called as a vendor. So supplier is like, you can say OEM, who is the manufacturer, and vendor is like the distributor, you can say, who distribute. So we think it is same, but there is this minor difference between them. Now this question is also there in interview. From whom do you prefer to buy a material? From a OEM or from a distributor? Say, so you have to say, so it depends, sir. If you want large quantity of material, if you want the material with lot of accuracy, everything, then we can go with the directly with the manufacturer. We can buy the material from manufacturer. So if we want less quantity of material and it is urgent and something, then we can directly contact the distributor and take. Understanding or no? So this is very important. Means suppose now you want Parle biscuit. Will you go to Parle company and buy it from that plant? No, right? You buy from Reliance. That is a distributor. Listening. But if I want directly, suppose 20,000 packets of Parle, I can contact Parle company and get that product. Understanding this difference or no, guys? So this is
Yes, sir.
difference between OEM and a distributor. That's a vendor and supplier. So whom do you prefer? This question also has been asked 3 to 5 times at least from so many interviews. Okay, so this is all covered in like HR scenario, company details, procurement. I've covered everything. So any doubt, take 2-3 minutes and you can ask me and then we stop.
Sir, is Power BI tool useful in SAP? Can
No,
we
Power BI is of course, a data analytic tool, correct? So you use it for dashboards, visualization, reporting. So if you know Power BI, you can say you are creating all those reports which I told, right? Open PRPO. You can say you are creating it in Power BI. It will be an added advantage for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Clear, guys? At least few things you understood right today.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So only
Yes, sir.
understanding. Yeah, good. So only understanding is not important here now. So of course I understand when I teach something for 1 hour, you cannot focus for 1 year, 1 hour, of course. So it's very important going through this, because even if you don't practice SAP, doesn't matter. Even if you don't open SAP, doesn't matter. Interview may no one will tell you to do practical, right? They are going to ask you question, you have to tell the answers. So just by heart these videos, interview part I'm saying, whatever we are going to discuss today and next 2 days, whatever the next 2 parts of interviews. Getting it or no, guys?
Yes,
And
sir.
still, if you get
Yes, sir.
if you get any new question, please ask me. Ask Chiranjeevi, call and ask, message or whatever. Get it clarified. Okay. And always remember, whenever you are facing any interview, before that you have to always call and tell us that we have this interview, because some or the other of my student has given interview in that company, so we get those specific questions also from that company. So always when you have interview, try to communicate with us. Practice on Excel also, guys. This I have not told, but we look up formula, pivot table, HLOOKUP, basic formulas, conditional formatting. These things you should be knowing in Excel. How do you rate yourself in Excel? If they ask you, you can say 6 on 10. I know pivot table, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Do you know macro? If they ask, sir, no. Macros means it is for automation, but I want to learn it, but still I don't know about macros. You can say. And if whenever you apply for the jobs, if any of the person calls you, any consultancy, and they say you, okay, we will be arranging your interview, pay 100 rupees, pay 500 rupees, that will be fake. Okay, never believe that.